So let's pretend like we're best friends, which I feel is very natural for us to pretend that. There is a vibe here, 100% undeniable. And I'm like, Fran, I need to leave him, like doing divorce to this man. What would you tell me to do? What's up, rich people? It's me, Haley, AKA Mrs. Dow Jones. And it's time to talk about the big D. No, ew, not that D, you pervs. Divorce. Obviously, no one gets married planning for it to end, which makes it even more surprising when it does. And between the emotions, the kids, and of course, the money, there's a lot to navigate. But don't get mad, get everything, or at least your fair share. In this video, I'm gonna give you the tools you need to survive a divorce financially. But before we jump in, make sure you subscribe to my weekly newsletter, Haley's Diary. We have 70,000 readers, and I want you to be one of them. Okay, David, roll tape. If you're watching this video, you're probably getting a divorce, feel a divorce coming, or you have a friend who should probably get one, which is tough and emotional and hard on your family. And while there's a lot of resources out there to help you get through the feeling stuff, which slay queen, cry, go off, that's not what this video is for, okay? I'm here to help you with the money stuff, which no one is teaching you about. But it's critical that you know this so that you can stay smart and focused and actually set yourself up for the long term. Here are the 7 crucial steps to divorcing financially smart. Step 1, know your finances. Surviving a divorce starts before you get divorced. If you don't have a clear picture of your finances as a couple, you're gonna be a lot more vulnerable in the instance of a divorce. Protect your bag, babies, know your worth. Even if you trust your spouse enough to marry them, you should never fully abdicate your financial power. Here are the most important things to know. Who's on the house? What are the logins to our financial accounts? Who's our financial advisor? Do we have a financial advisor? What's up with our 401k? Do we share any debt? Do we own anything valuable? If so, get that shit appraised. Yes, I am talking about your engagement ring. Step 2, be smart about what you ask for. Women tend to go for the house in the divorce, especially if they have kids. I get it, you don't want to disrupt their lives even more by getting rid of the home that they grew up in. And while the house is a nice comfort, financially, it tends to pale in comparison to a stock portfolio. It requires maintenance and often doesn't yield a return the same way a portfolio will. Men, on the other hand, who have been conditioned since boyhood to be financially confident, usually have the foresight to select the appreciating low maintenance assets in the divorce negotiations, like the stock portfolio, like the retirement savings and pension funds. And this ends up putting them in a better position financially long term. Well, that was until you watch this video. Ask for the stocks, honey. The house is not worth it. Also, don't sleep on credit card points, okay? Get those divided too. Step 3, do some sleuthing. Take photos of pay stubs, bills, credit card statements, bank statements, mortgage statements, investment statements, and income tax forms. If you have access to your safe or safety deposit box, go have a peek at what's inside. Basically, you want to get a lay of the land so that there can be no secrets. Information is power, and it's always good to have receipts. Step 4, get what you deserve. If you have kids and were the caretaker, do not forget to bring that into your divorce negotiation. You were likely out of the workforce to take care of the children, which impacts your current ability to get a job and earn money. And you should be compensated for that sacrifice. Only 1/6 of parents with custody are fathers. Women are carrying the load. And most women negotiate the bare minimum for child support, but factor everything it takes to raise a child in. Clothes, healthy food, vacations. And for alimony, realize your value as a caregiver is the reason he has that high income and didn't have to take time off. Know your rights and know your value. Step 5, untangle your finances ASAP. Take your name off all joint accounts and make sure you have a credit card in your name so that you're building your own credit history and working towards financial independence. Also, I want you to get a separate checking and high yield savings account and put enough money in there for a couple months worth of living expenses so that you're safe no matter what. Step 6, don't fall into the trap of paying for self-care. Look, divorce is super emotional and you have to take care of yourself while you go through one. However, while you may want to hire a guru and go on a yoga retreat because you are struggling, please be smart about how you're spending money on your well-being. Psychics can be expensive. I recommend finding a therapist through your insurance that you can easily afford the copay for. But basically, don't use your billable hours for your lawyers or for your financial advisors to process your emotions. And please don't rely on your children either. Keep them out of this. Same goes for your friends. Find someone outside of your network to support you and make sure that their time is within reach financially. Step 7, explore mediation instead of a divorce lawyer. Mediation is often less expensive and contentious than getting a lawyer. But don't take it from me. I have family mediator Fran here to tell us everything we need to know about mediation. Let's go talk to her. Hi guys, okay, I am here now with family mediator Fran, and she's gonna give us all the juicy details on mediation and why it can be very financially savvy if you are getting divorced. Fran, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm excited that you're bringing attention to mediation.
I feel like no one knows about mediation.
Yeah, it is an option which very few people know about or understand.
What would you say is the average price of divorce?
The national average is somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000, but it's really hard to put a price on it because it really depends on the family circumstances.
What is mediation versus getting a lawyer?
Well, I think the thing is, if you get a lawyer and you're litigating in court, you've actually given control over to the court to decide issues about your life going forward.
That's so true. So it's a third party.
Oh, it's a third party, and it can be intrusive, powerful.
This is her courtroom.
I have power. You have nothing.
You are also subject to that judge's idea of what fair is. And in a family, that may not be so fair. And if you're mediating, you have the opportunity to talk out a lot of issues that are never gonna ever reach the bench.
What is mediation?
Well, mediation is really a voluntary, non-adversarial, really a collaborative process between two people. The difference is the mediator acts as a neutral third party. They facilitate the conversation between the parties. They help support the conversation, but they do not represent either party.
So instead of both sides sort of fighting against each other, nickel and diming, trying to get every penny, it's them working together to find a way out that works for both of them. Do you think that mediation is a good option if you're trying to save money on your divorce?
Absolutely. And in fact, if a couple is really strapped for cash, there are options for pro bono mediations through CDRCs, which are court-arranged community mediation centers, and some offer divorce as well as family cases.
So let's pretend like we're best friends, which I feel is very natural for us to pretend that. There is a vibe here, 100% undeniable. And I'm like, Fran, I need to leave him. Like, I'm doing divorce to this man. What would you tell me to do?
Information is powerful. What I mean is, if you're not prepared to tell your spouse that you're thinking about this, you should be armed with the information you need to know about your family's financial situation.
What are the selling points that I can bring to a discussion that will help convince my soon-to-be former partner that we should go this route?
You can highlight the fact that it's voluntary.
Okay.
It's quicker.
Okay.
It's
and give me the
cheaper.
Okay, there we go.
And you really, because it's voluntary, you do not have to agree to anything that doesn't work for you.
Okay.
And one thing we haven't touched on, it's confidential.
Ooh.
So all the things you talk about, all of your private business is confidential.
Okay, Fran, you sold me. I'm down. I want to get a mediator even though I'm not married and I'm not getting divorced. How do I find one? Is there a ZocDoc for mediators?
One resource is Bar Association. Also, the courts have a panel of divorce mediators.
But how do I know if they're any good? Do you have to be licensed? Is that why the word of mouth is so important?
You should see what organizations they belong to, or what are their relationships is with the ADR committees for the bar associations. The most gratifying thing for me as a mediator, and it's something I have heard time and time again, is, wow, we just could not have had this conversation without you.
Thank you so much, Fran, for being here. Loved hearing everything about mediation, and I feel like now we all know how to divorce smarter, not harder. Breaking up is hard to do, but it doesn't have to be hard financially. I want you to say "I don't" to getting taken advantage of and use these tips. You got this. Don't forget to subscribe for more financial therapy, and stay rich, bitch.